During the Buddha's time, many lay people would come to the temple on the Uposatha holy day to observe the precepts. In these days, they would listen to Dhamma sermons and take instructions. On one particular day, the Buddha asked, "Are all of you here observing the precepts?" They all responded that they were. The Buddha then said, "It would be good for you to observe the Uposatha days. In the past, even men who observed only half an Uposatha day attained great glory." They all requested that the Buddha make known what was hidden due to countless rebirths. Once upon a time, there was a king named Brahmadatta who reigned in Benares. He ruled his kingdom righteously, and he zealously observed the Uposatha days by upholding the precepts and giving alms. He persuaded his ministers and many others to give to charities and observe restraint on the Uposatha days. The king's family priest, unfortunately, was an unscrupulous man. He was greedy, prone to taking bribes, and a giver of unrighteous judgments. He would decide cases based on which person gave him the larger bribe. But on the other hand, the priest also did good actions. He converted one of his buildings into a donation center and food bank. He allowed people who traveled from far away to receive judgments on their cases to stay at the center. In this building, the priest provided spaces for rest and free food and drink. He did all of this out of the kindness of his heart. When the great king heard of the priest's donation hall, he was very proud and praised the priest. The king then called a meeting of his advisors and told them about the benefits of observing the precepts on the Uposatha days. He told them that by purposely and willfully fasting and restraining from sexual activity, plush comforts, and distractions, they were generating valuable virtues and character that would follow them and protect them in their future rebirths. Those who observed the Uposatha days would be reborn in blissful heavenly rebirths. The king then asked his family priest, in front of everyone, "My good man, are you observing the Uposatha precepts today?" The priest felt pressured and embarrassed, and proceeded to lie. "I am, my great king." The king said, "Wonderful. Let the priest be an example to all. Observe the Uposatha days and prosper." However, after the king left, many of the other ministers who were observing the Uposatha day precepts cornered the lying priest. They said, "We know you are lying. We saw you eat food earlier. How could you lie to our king? Please don't misunderstand me. When I go home, I will rinse my mouth and fast for the rest of the day." "Very well. See that you do that then." And so the priest went home and did as he said he would. He fasted and spent his time reflecting upon his life and his actions. On that same day, there was a certain person who came to receive judgment. She arrived late and had not eaten anything all day. When she arrived at the donation center, there was no food left. She realized it was an Uposatha day and decided to fast. The priest saw her suffering from hunger and gave her a ripe mango which had been given to him. From then on, the priest never lied to the king again. The king, seeing this, was very proud and promoted him to a higher station. However, even though he did good deeds, he still could not overcome his greed. He continued to take bribes and decide cases unjustly. Not too long later, the Brahmin priest passed away. Owing to his charity and good deeds, the priest was reborn in a golden palace. He was well dressed and had a beautiful form. He was accompanied by 16,000 beautiful devas. Each one was eager to offer him a ripe mango. He asked them, "Why do all you beautiful devas serve me?" They answered, "Because while you were alive, you once upheld half an Uposatha day. This is the karmic result of your action." He asked them, "Why do I have such a beautiful palace?" They answered, "Because you constantly gave shelter, rest, and food to weary, poor, and hungry travelers. This is the karmic result of that action." He then asked them, "Why do you all offer me ripe mangoes?" They answered, "Because while you were alive, you once gave a mango to a very hungry woman who was suffering. This is the karmic result of that action." The reborn priest was ecstatic. He enjoyed his palace, the company, and the mangoes all night. However, when the first light of dawn approached, the priest began to transform. His divine body and clothes all melted away. In its place, the priest's body became elongated, and he grew as tall as a palm tree. His whole body was set ablaze. He had only one finger on each hand, and it was long. His nails were as big as spades, and he used them to dig out his own flesh from his back. As he tore out his flesh, he would eat it, and mad with pain, he would scream out loud. He would endure this pain all day. As he screamed in pain, he realized that this was the result of his accepting bribes and unjustly deciding cases. His actions caused so much suffering for many people. This was the karmic result of his actions. However, when night fell, his hellish body of suffering would vanish, and he would transform into his heavenly form. He would ascend to heaven and enter his divine palace, with beautiful devas waiting to offer him mangoes. This cycle would repeat for a long time, until the priest received the results of all his karmic actions, both good and evil. What did you learn from this story? We hope you enjoyed the video. Click like if you did, and click subscribe if you want to see our uploads.